Let it go.
Welcome to BitmonkeyTV.
We're back.
Episode number 11 or 12?
This is episode number 12.
Yeah, episode 12.
Oh, wow,
Awesome.
wow. We made it.
My name is Marcelo.
And I'm Scott.
And today's topic, we actually kind of planned ahead today, in a way, right?
In a way.
We're very strategic. So I'm going to let Scott lead it off because...
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I've also had like 4 cups of coffee today, so I'm like...
Yeah, you started your little side work, right?
Yeah. I'm a little barista action in the morning. It's fun.
Something all hopped up on caffeine all day. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
You know, shout out Story Coffee if you're in Livermore, come through.
Hey, you got to start bringing me some espresso.
I mean, if I don't drink it first.
I know.
All right. Okay, so where to start today? I'll start off with my hair. Disregard this. I know I should have done this. Okay. Anyways, oh my Jesus Lord. All right. So today is a really exciting day in the NFT world. If you haven't been on Twitter, you aren't in the NFT space, just you're not zoned in. Easy to miss some of these maybe. But today in particular, I mean, there's a lot of news happening recently that I'm going to kind of go over, and we'll pick Marcelo's brains and thoughts. I think I'm a bit more like a crackhead when it comes to paying attention to social media. He's kind of on the outskirts of it, and I'll be like, "Hey, did you hear about this on Twitter?" And he's like, "No."
I have my moments. So I have a rule where I go to bed, phone's in airplane mode, right?
He's
so
much better.
Notifications go away. First thing I wake up to is my alarm. I don't see any notifications. So I have a very disciplined approach with that. So there are 10 to 12 hours out of every day where my phone's in airplane mode. But that's strategic. It's not because I'm like lollygagging. But I can learn a lot from him, so I'm looking forward to sharing his knowledge.
And I can learn from him too, because I have no self-control when it comes to social media. I'm like refreshing, getting the latest news.
And it depends. Time of days, if that's the hour I'm dedicating to that, or a couple hours, I'm got to
turn my brain off for a bit. Just scroll. Anyways, back to NFT news. So the biggest thing today that was kind of crazy was that Twitter just started handing out NFTs. I think Twitter launched the fact that they're going to be creating an NFT platform, and today they just decided to give, I believe it was like 120 NFTs. I think there was different editions or something. Like there was 120, but there was 20 of each of those 120 pieces that they minted.
So the question I have for that's cool.
Yeah.
But what were they really built on?
That I don't know.
Are they on the Ethereum blockchain? Or
I have no idea. I have no idea.
You know what? I'd like to learn the specifics of each token.
Yeah, I know a few people who actually received them, so I could ask them.
It could be like what Facebook did with starting their own coin to compete with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. It could be that approach. I don't know. So I'd love to learn more about that. But that's interesting news.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
I want to dig into that a little bit.
And so what happened was, I logged in. I think maybe it was like, I don't know, 20 minutes after the announcement was, and I was like, oh my God. And I saw a bunch of people kind of replying or posting under it. And I know I happened to see a few people who got them, and then I saw posts, them going up on secondary, like almost immediately. And they were jumping to like 25, 50 Ethereum, like off the bat.
So were they being sold? Were people buying them?
I don't know if
so just because they're being listed doesn't mean they're being sold at that price, right? Okay.
Yes. So take it with a grain of salt. It's being listed for that price. It doesn't mean they're necessarily selling for that price.
Well, for anybody curious, do you know the collection name of like what they were giving out? Because I'd love if anybody wants to dig in, we can just say, hey, go to
no
OpenSea
idea.
and
I think
check the
they're on
collection.
OpenSea.
Because you can check the last highest sale.
We could pull it up here.
I guess so. That's a good point.
I'll let Marcelo do that. He can see if he can find that. And I'll go through some more of the kind of news from today, or, that I've sort of gathered for today. First off is the Twitter thing was huge. And then just recently, of course, you had like the Jay-Z thing where he changed his avatar to a punk. And he actually had spoken with Jack Dorsey. I'm going to just literally read this in a live stream conversation. Where he actually sold a majority of the stake of Tidal to Dorsey, and they're going to be launching this.
Tidal?
Tidal is his music streaming platform. Okay. It's like
for those who don't
like
know.
Apple Music, like Spotify.
Okay.
And so I think they're going to do something where they make NFTs a part of the streaming service. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. I didn't really.
I look forward to
too
seeing
much
how
into
they evolve off of that.
Yeah, I mean, it comes on the back of Jay-Z. I don't know if you're aware of this, but he right before he announced that he was getting NFTs, and before he had changed his avatar over, he actually, I believe, he filed a suit against a photographer who was selling his images from Reasonable Doubt. That album, and so he brought a suit against him.
That's one of my favorite albums,
right?
From Jay-Z.
And it was crazy because at that moment, a lot of photographers are like, "What? Why? Why would he do this? This is a photographer who's been in the business for a while." Jay-Z had some probably not so nice things to say about him, using his image and whatnot. So it's kind of crazy that comes right off of that, him diving in NFTs, and then everyone's like, in the NFT world, it's just crazy, all that, as soon as he changed his profile picture, that's all I saw on Twitter. So that was a crazy thing happening. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with it, but tying music and NFTs is going to be a huge deal.
Oh, that entire industry is going to change. And for him to be at that forefront, to be one of the first.
Yeah. Imagine album unlockables that are sort of built into the NFT. And the things that you can do with that.
Depending on the rarity of the NFT, it could be one-on-one access with that artist once a year at some remote location, fucking airfare. The potential is only limited by the creativity of the artist.
You can do with in-person experiences.
Ooh, I want to.
What you can do with bonus tracks or something like that. We're just scratching the surface, but there's a lot that you can do there.
Yep.
Another big one, Fox Entertainment announced a $100 million investment into its new NFT-focused business called Blockchain Creative Labs, which is crazy. So it's going to directly link fans, advertisers, and creators via NFTs. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. I think that everyone's still kind of.
So I think what we're seeing here, and I'm just going to state it, is we're seeing something similar to that ICO run of that 2017 era. So I just want to state something very clearly that we didn't state at the beginning of this episode. Nothing you hear here is it financial advice.
No.
All right, don't go after these projects and say you heard it from BitmonkeyTV. This one has potential.
Do your own research.
You know what I mean? Understand that over 3/4 of all the projects launching during this era are going to fail.
Yep.
So do your research. Have some
just
fun
the nature
with
of the beast,
right? So I just wanted to get that out there because I didn't want to go too deep into news.
We are a news source.
Yeah, right. We're a news
live
source. We're
breaking
behind
news.
it. We're promoting it. Right? So I want to get that. But that's interesting, man. I'm gonna dig a little deeper. So this is the first I'm hearing. I've been quiet. I've been off Twitter.
Well, in addition, something else to add to that. So not only is Fox getting into it and building their business out of it, they've sort of been working with Rick and Morty creator Dan Harmon. Do you watch Rick and Morty?
Not every week. I watch the reruns,
Got it. Yeah, I watch with my dad all the time.
Shout out my dad. Shout out Turtle.
But so they're going to be creating a marketplace for, I think, Rick and Morty fans to exchange unique characters, gifts, tokens. There's going to be tokens that provide exclusive social experiences, which is crazy. I know Rick and Morty has a huge following. And then there's going to be a whole show, I guess, about their foray into there's going to be a specific episode called Crapopolis. I don't know what that title even means, but it's going to tie into the NFTs somehow. So that's super nuts. And then the biggest thing for me, I think that's insane. It's the next thing after this, what I'm about to say, to come after that might be the most thing to get me the most excited about a company entering the NFT space is if Pokemon was we're now gonna make all all the Pokemon collectibles. That shit, I would take my money.
You want? Oh, okay.
I
know. I can see that.
So
I can see that.
This company, Marvel, is now expanding into their mixed reality metaverse with digital collectibles, NFTs, and that sort. So that's kind of Punk's
they're probably gonna have their own what's it called, MMO, mass multi online player, the meta universe.
Like an MMORPG.
Yeah, right. With their own wearables and
that
shit
would
that you
be
can buy.
insane.
That's all on chain.
Yeah. And that'd
be dope.
Man,
Pokemon needs to do that too.
Dude, if Pokemon gets into NFTs, like collectibles.
But they can't, like,
Imagine they make all 151 of the originals like an avatar project, but have some more functionality to it. I would, with the quickness. Well, actually, no. Everyone's gonna be going from you, but like, I would. There's certain Pokemon I would be like, no, take my money. It would be like your Holy Grail punk to me. You know what I mean?
I get it.
I would be hyped.
Yeah.
But that being said, there's all these huge companies coming in. Do you think that this is like a huge inflection point, like a huge turning point for the NFT world, or do you think this is sort of another rush in the cycle where it's, so we don't see huge mass adoption still, but we see some big players entering the game?
Okay, for me, to be clear, like when I think NFT, I think Ethereum. I don't think NFT world per se. I think blockchain world, right? I'm thinking the foundation of where all of this lives. That's what I'm looking. So the future's bright. I mean, it's a flame that's too big to go out. I know I've said this before. But my thoughts on NFTs, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. There's going to be a lot of projects that fail. And we already see there are so many you can only copycat an idea so many times. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, how many avatar projects can you actually have?
Well, and then basing it off the same structure, the same idea, not getting creative, as artists should.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just curious to see how all that plays out once, that.
What do you think? So art.
Because when that happens and people start losing tons of money, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be a negative perception from the outside looking in. So the markets will most likely
and then more FUD
suffer in the short term.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the same thing after 2017. History repeats itself.
Where do you see
until this thing matures, until this technology matures and becomes adopted worldwide?
Right. Where do you see this technology going though in the next 6 months? Do you think we're going into, and this is all just speculation, but do you think we're going into a crypto winter? Do you think because of now
6 months is, in my opinion, is too short to like.
That's too short in the crypto world. I mean, just
for
talking.
Me, but I'm a long-term
I'm not saying like make any these are not set in stone predictions.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask me maybe like a week ago, where the price was going, I'm like, cool. I hope it hit. We start seeing, in this downturn, we see it see Ethereum hit like 1,500. Go under. I would love it. But now with all these big players entering the game, do you think that we're still going to come back to that in the short term?
My personal belief, long term, because I don't like speaking too much on short term.
I'm asking you short term.
I know. Hold on.
You hear me asking? He's avoiding the question.
No. I'll get back to it. My personal just belief is that Ethereum will eventually, decade or two, be 50% value of each Bitcoin. So when you put that into perspective, and the reason I have that thought and belief is when I see like what you're talking about with all the short-term economics, all of these players getting into the space.
Right.
To answer your question, I know I've been going off and off. I think it's a good and bad thing. And I don't want to make any comments or predictions because there's going to be a lot of people who lose a lot of money.
You think it's a bad thing? Well, I guess that is the down part,
right? Because there's too much short-term thought and economics behind everybody's approach. Everybody's always talking about, I don't know, not everybody. Let me rephrase that because I don't want I'm not trying to like single anybody out. Like I have nothing but love for everybody. Whatever your approach is, by all means, take your approach and learn your lessons and do things your way, But I've just been observing and listening to comments that imply I'm already up a K or I'm already up 2K type of thing. With that type of thought process, those are the people I'm worried about the most during this volatile period of time, this decade. Like seriously, that's a big concern of mine because it was just like the previous decade.
People are going to get wrecked. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah. So I hope that answered your question. I couldn't really answer it directly, to be honest, because that's my concern.
He didn't answer my question, just for everyone viewing out there who's watching this. He definitely did not answer my question. He skirted around it.
So say it again. I felt like I had to make that point.
You know what? No.
I believe in that strongly.
I think I have a different point, or I did at one point have a different point to make. Blah, 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 blah.
No, it wasn't a point to make. It was a question you had.
It was a question.
Oh, you were.
It was a question.
It was a question to make a point. Bam.
Maybe something like that. I lost my train of thought. I literally lost. I'm sorry, guys. I had a question. Sometimes you know how like when someone's talking, you hear one thing and you sort of prepare an answer to it when you should just be listening.
Could also be my strategy.
I tried. So I'm working on this. This is something I'm working on. This I feel like something a lot of people have to work on. When someone's talking to you, rather than picking up on like the first thing you say and already having an opinion, don't do that in your brain. Don't make an answer already.
Yeah, I usually listen to listen.
Listen. It's always the goal. Digest it, and then come up. But my memory and my brain don't work like that, so I try to stay on top of things. Anyways, lost it. But I think that I remember. So what I see is a lot of projects with their roadmaps. They're not thinking in the 5 to 10 to 15 year range.
I honestly haven't seen a long-term roadmap yet.
Though I've only seen
like a really, really long term, except for Gary Vee, 40 years. I mean, he hasn't like laid it out on a timeline for you, but I believe in his intent.
Yeah.
And him carrying that project 40 years plus.
Yeah. I mean, the only one I've seen that's over the next year to 2 years is Axie Infinity as a 5-year plan.
As a gaming perspective, right? Like the
as in the holders. Like how
so you're thinking from a collector perspective,
from a collector. Well, I mean, essentially, their game will survive if people like hold, like as long as the AXS holders hold on and stake that. Their company is going nowhere. Axie Infinity is going nowhere, and they actually have incentives over the next 5 years for people to stake their AXS. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that thing.
So that's the longest you've seen so far is 5 years.
Personally, yes, and I'm not deep diving into everybody's white paper and
not everybody does a white paper because a white paper is more traditionally was like a coin thing, but as you guys will learn in 7 days.
Yeah, here's an insider tip. If anyone is, well, it's not really insider tip.
Yeah, what do you
scoop?
7 days.
7 days. Is it 7 days? I think it's technically 8. Today's the 30th. If you don't count today as a day, 7 days.
I'm gonna have to play something.
No, you can't. It's licensed. Okay. He's gonna play a song. It's 7 Days by Craig David. Amazing song, but he can't play it because it's licensed. And this.
Because what's crazy, funny story is, I won't tell all of it, but when I first started working on this white paper, I think I was still in Arizona, and I was playing this song when I was reliving old memories. I was in a good vibe, good energy, and the song reflects a lot of thoughts I was having while I was writing the white paper. So that's why I wanted
the white paper, a project he was inspired in
by a lot of different things. But like while I was working on it, there were certain songs and certain genres I was listening to that I'll never fucking forget.
And if you know this guy, like I know this guy, he loves numbers. So the fact that and especially 7, so
hint
7 days.
Hint.
hint. But yeah. Look at the serious guy here.
I'm just gonna stare at the camera for a little bit. So for the OGs who catch that, 7s. This new project.
This guy, I make fun of him so many times for the numbers thing, but I love it. He can make anything have a meaning and be important. 11th episode. We're gonna do 11.
Hey, I was so proud on that post you made. No, I did something on IG and he posted something about
there was 4 emojis at the end of his thing.
Plus slices of pizza, plus minus the 1 pizza you ate. 7, I get it. And I was like, damn, I'm like a proud father who just realized his son is finding the true meaning of life.
Yeah. But I think there's, in seeing numbers and seeing signs, there's an art to that too. And like, you can find inspiration everywhere you look if you're looking for the right things, right? Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I dig it. As far as news goes, that's all I have for today. The things that I was like super excited about with NFTs.
So, and where did you find most of this news? Just so everybody knows, was this like through different websites?
I'm literally just on Twitter.
Okay.
I
just want to make sure they know where it's coming from.
Yeah. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. I like it, dude. Thanks for your input. You had a lot of interesting. I'm gonna rewatch this and clip it and look into these projects. To be honest. Like I'm curious now.
I mean, I'm just excited to see where it's going.
Absorbing as much information, like I think we all should.
Yep. Exactly.
So future of NFTs, I'd like to put a little note on this. I'd like to start talking more theory based. like the future of NFTs, when you think from utility, right? You said that there's some projects who are providing access to something. Like, if you think about it, shout the fuck out to Gary Vaynerchuk.
Wait, how does Gary come in?
Listen. He was really the first one to do it with admission access. VCon?
With the V
that
friends?
paved the fucking way. I guarantee
yeah.
you all these other projects, including it,
Yeah.
got that idea from him. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but if y'all go back to BDC's #1, BitMonkey Digital Collectible #1, I state in there, I even fucking shout out Gary V in there saying, hey, come through to CommunityCon. I provided utility within my tokens I'm minting on Rarible on my personal collection to something called CommunityCon. Guess where I got the idea? Watching a 4Ds episode from
Gary V.
So shout out to Gary V for the idea, but it was so fucking awesome to know I was on the right track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With my intent behind it.
Yeah, for
now,
sure.
while I don't have the resources that Gary V has to throw an equivalent conference, it's all digital and I'm giving away free shit. You know what I mean? So
it's not shit. This is highly valuable.
You know what I mean? It's
art.
See, this is what happens when we podcast, right? We're like brothers. So if I'm gonna cuss, I'm just gonna fucking cuss. I'll say some things I normally wouldn't say if you weren't here. It's like, fuck.
This is our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
This is true.
Our podcast vlog. This is not a podcast yet. It will be.
I know we need. Hey, I learned Anchor.fm. It's so easy. We can just
take
drag
the audio,
the MP4,
right.
and
eventually
it transcribes it automatically.
We have a lot of work ahead of us, regardless. We have so many things we can do better. What?
I'm just hearing an excuse.
Oh, it's excuses. No,
So,
literally.
Going back to future of NFTs, right? From a theory perspective.
Yeah.
What else do you think we'll see? Aside from what we've seen with the admission. I know I went off on a rant. Shout out Gary V again. Episode 55, we're waiting for you.
Well,
everybody share this to him. Sorry.
Shout out Gary V. Hey, shout out Gary V.
Gotta put this out in the fucking universe. This shit's gonna be out there. Someone's gonna clip this.
I have to give you shit. It's my responsibility as your co-host.
I know. Likewise. We do the same. So, what do you think? Like, what's on your mind?
Let me answer.
No,
anyways,
gotta fuck with him on this.
Anyways, so from like purely an artist standpoint, I think that it's okay. Like, here's the thing: I don't think every token has to have utility. I think from an artist standpoint, it's okay if your token doesn't have utility. It can be about the art, and that's it. You're literally selling art, and that's amazing in itself. So don't get me wrong. I think that any NFT can just stand alone as art, base level. Would I like to see more utility? Yes. But I would like to see it implemented in a way that is actually meaningful and not an afterthought. Where, for example, there's a photographer currently, Kath Simmerd. I hope I said her last name correctly. But she's doing an experience giveaway where if you buy her NFTs, you actually get to go on a trip with her to, I believe it's somewhere in Canada.
Does she pay for everything?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything's paid for. So you get this like crazy experience of going to like shoot mountains and lakes and rivers and stuff with her.
That's pretty sweet.
And you get some crazy print. Her printing process is nuts too.
Yeah.
But I think there may even be some other aspect to it. But she's like sort of gone down this cool idea of like making it a whole experience around your NFTs. And I think you can even do like more past that. I don't personally, if I had that answer, I would do it for my own NFTs. But I would, if I can see utility, I want to see real world impact. And I want to see things other people will get excited about. So like when you make a sale, it enhances other people's lives and enriches people in a way they may not have thought. Where it's not only like about you making a financial gain, which that's also always good, but I want to see a portion of the sales go back to something bigger and more community based. I think.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's right.
And I like how you started that from an artist perspective, because at first I wanted to chime in, but I'm practicing constantly to always just listen to listen, not listen
and
to
we're
respond.
Like so opposite.
Yeah. And I like how you broke that down, because that makes sense. And I love the idea behind giving back to those who support you, right? Because I've seen it a lot too. Like, no offense, hey, props to everybody making money.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to knock the hustle. All right, shout out to Jay-Z. Can't knock the hustle. However, I think we're gonna get to a point like we've been discussing, and it's clear now more than ever, right? There's gonna be a lot of failed projects. The ones that truly succeed are the ones that focus on the audience, right? The ones that focus on doing what they love and putting the audience first.
Yep.
What I see is, yeah, there's a lot of fun games with some of these avatar projects. There's a lot of community involvement. But so much can be given back. There can be more done for the people, thus increasing attention, thus increasing overall value. I mean, there's a lot of... For giving back more than what you receive in a project, the ROI of attention is insane. It's instant.
Definitely.
Right? So what I'd like to see is more thoughtful approaches. Not necessarily like every project, you know, you're going to do what you do, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Have
like some of it can stand on its own.
approach depending on your belief system, depending on your industry, depending on what you do and what you provide and what you care about. Because the experience that you're providing, whether it's digital or in person, should be an enjoyable experience for whoever wins or buys that token, right? So think of something you love to do and include those people on it, right? Whether it's gifting them one of your favorite fucking Michael Jordan rookie cards or whatever, if it's an insane type of project that's a high ticket item, right? You can then, you know, there's so many different approaches, and I think there's too much selfish behavior. And we're going to see that. We're going to see, you know, time.
Are you talking about giveaways there? Because I think without...
No, I'm just saying with some projects, what I mean, not giveaways. I'm not just talking about giveaways.
There's certain
I'm talking about taking...
That...
No, not even unlockables. It's just looking at how much they earn for a project and actually saying, okay, what are they doing for the community? And are they being transparent? Or are they just... taking a big portion, sending it off, and then doing some, you know, just some fun stuff and then disappearing and fanning out. That's what I mean.
So you're trying to create an NFT project that not only helps you, but elevates the entire NFT community.
Not only elevates the entire NFT community, but just think of an NFT project that could possibly give people an opportunity to not necessarily buy in, but be rewarded for less than a 1 ETH contribution in the form of CryptoPunk and VFriend giveaways. Like, those floors are through the roof. Imagine a project who dedicated part of their fund to do something like that. That would be fucking mind-boggling, right? Imagine. But it's like, these ideas are so simple. It's just... The projects I like to get behind now moving forward are thoughtful projects. However, I will shout out one project that I couldn't fucking resist.
What are you
The Slacker
out?
Duck Pond. Oh my God damn, I had to quack my way in there. Quack, quack. Quack, quack. I had 2 ducks. Guys, I raised some ducks when I was younger. And
pardon the interruption, but we're going to bring you Marcelo's shill.
No, this is not a shill. I'm just saying. I thought it was a unique, cool-looking project. I used to raise ducks.
Yeah.
And they went against the grain. They didn't just copy and do 10,000.
Yeah.
They did 6,000.
Yeah.
You know, in the collection. So it's a different, you know, I definitely fucking quacked my way in there. But shout out. It was just a fun, like, it was one of those projects that, And I look forward to seeing what they do, because I did kind of look at what country the domain was registered in, who's backing it. I always do that type of research, and there was enough for me to say, all right, I'll throw in a couple ETH and get a whole bunch of ducks. So, what?
Nothing. I was just having shit.
I had to shout them out, dude. It's
I know. He messaged me actually when he had like found them and was excited about it and had, you know, invested in.
Because Donald Duck is one of my favorite Disney characters by far.
And I never had heard about them.
Paired.
And I had never heard about them.
And now what?
And then like the day after, 2 days after, I see a bunch of people like tweeting about it and stuff, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, dude. I was kind of looking, and I was like, huh. It was released at a unique time where everybody was focused on other projects, so it didn't get the spotlight like most of these projects. But the unique owners keep increasing. So it's an interesting thing.
Definitely slid under the radar.
Right. Yeah. So good luck to all the duck owners, and I'm looking forward to seeing that community grow.
Yes,
but
sir.
going back to the theory thing, I think I wanted to finish on that topic.
What do you want to say on that topic?
No, just being more thoughtful. I know that's being broad.
Yeah.
But also imagine another one where, I see NFT projects where they'll donate, and which is really cool. They'll provide screenshots. That's awesome, right? But imagine what?
What my feeling is on donations. Well, I just think that donations are lazy.
Yeah.
I think that.
Wait, you didn't let me finish.
Well, I know. I just want to, because if I let you finish, I'll never be able to get a fucking word in.
It's true. It's true.
I'm just trying to say that that's all I want to say, and you can continue.
No,
I have something to say on donations, but the floor is yours.
Yeah. You could do more. You could be more involved. You could lead the way and change an industry, right? Mm-hmm. You can, whatever you believe in, right? If you have a thing against hunger, right? If you felt that true starvation, I felt it. You don't want to wish that upon anybody. You want to make sure everybody in the world's fed. So instead of maybe donating to a big corporation that things are not transparent, and that money, most likely, this is not, this is just speculation, pure speculation, but most likely a big percentage of that is paid out to the staff and whoever's running, and a small percentage actually goes to the cause. Mm-hmm. Imagine if you led the way and documented where those funds went, right? And actually donated to a cause you believe in and build something from that. Maybe build a business from it that then employs other people. And so not only are you donating the money to a good cause, but you're showing the public exactly where that money went, rather than a screenshot to a big corporation where you don't get to see where the good money goes. You don't get to see what good it does.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly. No.
That fucking game changer. Be more thoughtful, people. Come on.
Say it better.
Like, we have an opportunity right now to do what we love and combine it with this new technology, right? What do you love? Like, what was your dream as a child? What do you want to do? You want to be a storyteller? Like, whatever it is, I think we're all creators in some way, shape, or form, whether or not you have the access to the tools or the resources. So just take this as an opportunity, and don't try to rush into a project because you think you're late on a train, whatever, this hype bullshit. Just figure out what you believe in and go all in.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
If you believe in, just like what he was saying, and I'm saying there's nothing wrong with those types of projects who selling art for the art to support the artist. I'm all for that, by all means. But, we can all be more thoughtful. That's what I'm saying. We can all be more thoughtful with the amount of money that's entering the space, and the amount and how the market cap's going to continue to grow. I mean, just compare it to the real estate market cap. In my opinion, the crypto world will exceed that long term. Right. No doubt. But that's long term. That's macro play.
Right.
Not
every project needs to change the world, though.
You're absolutely right.
I think that needs to be said, because we need those fun projects that don't mean anything, like my fucking pickle. It's a joke. But
you and your fucking pickle.
I'm just saying.
Fucking guy.
I should own pickles as much as I shill it now.
You fucking should. I should buy one and gift it to you, as much as I don't want to do that.
But what I'm saying is that you need to have fun. Everything can't be serious, all about life changing. I think that has its place and its time, and I love it. I love having more thought behind it. But I think that there's a good balance to both sides of the coin.
Yeah. And for the record, I'm not saying that's like every project needs to do it.
No,
what I'm saying is we have an opportunity.
If you have the opportunity to do it,
right?
And
if you have a passion for something,
yeah,
right now is your best opportunity to create a project around it, bring awareness to that cause, and act and be thoughtful with your approach.
Yep.
Yeah. But I agree with that.
Yeah.
Not every project has to be, right?
Right.
Especially if you're just entering the space. Do a fun art project. Fuck yeah, why not? Do your own little collection. Learn how the process of creating your own contract ID, right? Learn the process of minting on different platforms. I'm all for that. I love that advice.
Yeah, and
I love that perspective too.
I was on a Twitter space the other day, which is like their clubhouse, and this guy jumped on. You could tell he's very new to the space. I'm new to the space, and I could tell he was new.
Gas fees.
Gas is good right now, if anyone wondering.
Pretty fucked. Oh, it just jumped up to 16. I swear.
anyways, so he jumps into the Twitter Spaces, and he sort of, hey, I was thinking about creating some NFTs. What kind of like equipment should I have? Do I need a computer or like an iPad? And I'm like, to anyone who's been in this space,
technically no. If you have access to a library, you can go use some cloud-based software, log into a platform. Right. I mean, it's not the safest way to do it, but
the point I'm trying to make is that you don't need all these like barriers to enter the NFT world, right? If you're just a person who just wants to make some art, like that guy, he's just starting out. He's not going to think about utility down the line and all of that. That's where you just have fun. You learn about the space and stuff like that. So I think that cultivating that curiosity to just create, and then once you've created, you're like, whoa, now what else can I do with that? Like, layer 1, layer 2 type stuff. I think that's where hopefully this whole industry is headed. All NFT artists, if you've been in the space for a while, you're thinking about that next step, being more thoughtful, and wondering what you can do utility wise. Yeah, because I think honestly, like, art NFTs are gonna do wonderful things for wonderful people, but I don't think they're gonna grow the NFT space and bring awareness to NFTs and what they can do if they don't have the utility.
No, especially if it's just for the sake of converting to fiat. Right. As most artists would, because they're supporting themselves off of this, right? So and it's case by case, right? Everybody's situation's different. So, but I like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's for me. I think that's all I wanted to touch on.
I think it was a good episode.
Yeah.
I'd have more I want to touch on, but we can save it for Friday.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff coming out.
Because we're gonna start doing theme of the days, and Fridays are gonna be non-fungible token Fridays.
Friday is also going to be a big day.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, no, I take that back. I forgot what day it was.
A week from today is going to be a huge fucking day. And this guy's got to actually work.
I work every day.
You just started.
Maybe every day. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
it.
I think we're signing out.
Signing off.
That was a good shit.
Yeah,
for the viewers tuning in, we're sorry we haven't been checking the chat box. If you have, we appreciate the
I was
support.
watching it here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, I know we're doing this during a hot time with other shows, so we appreciate the one.
But
viewer.
we're the hottest show.
We are
on the planet.
Time,
on Twitch, on YouTube. Don't forget to like and. Oh wait, we're not supposed to ask that.
No, we don't want to ask that. Fuck all that. If you find value in this episode, though, share it.
Yeah, that's it.
Appreciate you.
Well, signing out. This is BitmonkeyTV. I'm Scott.
I'm Marcelo.
And
Hope you have a good
see
rest
you
of your
next
day.
time. Bye.
Peace.